Welcome to Orthodox World this week, Orthodox news in the digital space. I'm your host, Femian Verkis. Let's see the updates from the Orthodox world. Patriarch Daniel celebrates 15th year of enthronement. On the 15th anniversary of enthronement, His Beatitude, Patriarch Daniel of Romania celebrated liturgy at the Patriarchal Cathedral in Bucharest. Members of the Holy Synod, with priests and faithful, took part in the anniversary celebration. In his address to the people at the liturgy, Patriarch Daniel expressed his concerns about the near future, the diaspora, and the low birth rate. We always look at the past only to thank God and the people through whom God worked. But when we look at the present and the future, the needs and works of the church, we see how much more there is to do. That is, many activities are in progress, but new ones are also needed. That's why we draw inspiration from the life of other churches, but also the life of our dioceses and parishes abroad, because here in Romania, we are the majority. But the Orthodox from the Romanian diaspora are a minority, and they are under more pressure than us to seek pastoral methods, to look for support, to look for local solutions for the multitude of problems faced by those who left Romania and are in the Romanian diaspora. Few have returned to the country, but there are still many Romanian Orthodox believers abroad. Last year was dedicated especially to the pastoral care of Romanians abroad, and we observed how many activities these dioceses developed. One thing that contrasts with what is in Romania is the demographic growth of Romanians in the diaspora. The number of baptisms and weddings in the Romanian diaspora is much higher in proportion to the number of people compared to Romania, because in some Western countries, there are more favorable conditions for the development and support of families. Therefore, an immediate and long-term preoccupation is encouraging families to have more children and to educate them in faith and love for the country, reported Basilica News. His Beatitude also expressed his future priorities of ties with other denominations and continuous training of priests. Pope Tawadros II receives new Egyptian ambassadors. His Holiness Pope Tawadros II of Alexandria received new ambassadors of the Arab Republic of Egypt, who will leave soon to take up their duties as ambassadors. Ambassadors who were received by the Pope in the papal residence included Ambassador to Zimbabwe, Ambassador to Armenia, Ambassadors to Sudan, Ambassador to Kenya, Egypt's Consul in London, Ambassador to Sierra Leone, Consul General in Paris, Ambassador to Palestine. His Holiness the Pope expressed his wishes for successful duties in respective nations. His Holiness also mentioned the active presence of the Coptic Church and its faithful in respective nations. Bishop Armash Nalbandian of Damascus receives representative of the Russian Orthodox Church. Bishop Armash Nalbandian, Primate of the Armenian Orthodox Diocese of Damascus, received the representative of the Russian Orthodox Church in Syria, Archimandrite Philip Vasilsev, at his residence in Damascus on the 28th of September 2022. The meeting was in a cordial atmosphere. During the meeting, Archimandrite Philip discussed with Bishop Armash Nalbandian of the activities of the Russian Orthodox Church in Syria and expressed hope for cooperation with the Diocese of the Armenian Orthodox Church in Damascus. Bishop Armash spoke about the activities of the diocese and asked for the assistance of the representative in organizing the teaching of the Russian language to pupils of the general education school under the diocese. Archimandrite Philip presented several sets of the book Freedom and Responsibility by Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and All Russia in Arabic. Patriarch Daniel of Romania lamented the situation of villages and urged support for rural dwellers on the Day of the Romanian Village. Patriarch Daniel of Romania urges support for rural dwellers and expressed concerns about Romanian villages which are deserted on the 24th of September 2022 on his address from the Patriarchal residence. We particularly pray that Christ the Lord will give his help and blessing to all the inhabitants of villages, and may we who live in the cities help the inhabitants of the villages according to our possibilities. Patriarch Daniel also added, unfortunately, many Romanian villages are almost deserted due to emigration of many Romanians abroad, but also because life in the village is often more difficult, as there are not always all the necessary things for a decent life. His Beatitude's appeal to support the rural dwellers was made on the Day of the Romanian Village. Patriarch Kirill of Russia tests positive for COVID-19. Patriarch Kirill of Russia, the primate of the Russian Orthodox Church, tested positive for COVID-19 on the 30th of September 2022. The primate will be isolated as part of the treatment and he will undergo appropriate therapy for a fast recovery. All the planned meetings and trips of the Patriarch are cancelled due to the disease, said the temporarily acting head of the press service of the Patriarch of Moscow and All Russia VR, Legoida. Pope Tawadros II inaugurated the first international conference on Coptic archaeology at Ain Shams University. His Holiness Pope Tawadros II of Alexandria inaugurated the first international conference on Coptic archaeology on the 24th of September 2022, which was organized by the Faculty of Archaeology at Ain Shams University in cooperation with the Coptic Antiquities Association and the French Institute of Oriental Archaeology in Cairo. In his address, His Holiness pointed out the importance of Coptic studies and the importance of the Coptic language throughout history, so that the Egyptian vernacular is still affected by the Coptic language until now. He also referred to the history of the Coptic Church as a bright page in the Egyptian history book. He spoke about the history of Egypt in general, stressing that the Egyptians were distinguished by the fact that they stored other civilizations in their consciousness. It was even said that history lies under the skin of the Egyptians. His Holiness praised the keenness of Ain Shams University, led by Dr. Mahmoud El-Motini, to organize a conference for the Copts. Russian Orthodox representative took part in the Tokyo Peacemaking Roundtable. The World Conference of Religions for Peace, WCRP, conducted an international roundtable beyond war and on the path to reconciliation in Tokyo from 21st September to 23rd September 2022. The event was attended by Deputy Chairman of the Synodal Department for Church Relations with Society and Media Russian Orthodox Church, as the representative of the Russian Orthodox Church with the blessing of Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and All Russia. The event was attended by representatives of world religions from Burkina Faso, Ethiopia, Myanmar, South Sudan, Russia, Syria, Ukraine, and other countries. The roundtable discussed conflicts in various regions and the prospects for the participation of religious communities in the search for ways to resolve them peacefully. Speaking at the Tokyo Peacekeeping Roundtable, Vivi Kipchitse welcomed the initiative to hold the event put forward by the World Conference of Religions for Peace, Japan. Referring to the position of the Russian Orthodox Church regarding the Ukrainian conflict, he reminded the audience that the Church views this conflict as a tragedy and fratricidal division. He also pointed out that the Russian Orthodox Church, with the blessing of Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and all Russia, has been praying for peace since 2014. Considering not the peoples of Russia and Ukraine, but the NATO countries that consider Russia as an enemy to be guilty of the aggravation of the conflict. Several representatives from various religions took part in the roundtable and adopted statements regarding the conference. Patriarch Daniel receives the Palestinian President's Advisor for Religious Affairs. Patriarch Daniel of the Romanian Orthodox Church welcomed Mahmoud al-Habash, the Advisor for Religious Affairs to the President of the State of Palestine on the 13th of September 2022 at the Patriarchal Residence at Bucharest. The meeting was in a cordial atmosphere. Mahmoud al-Habash conveyed warm wishes of health and success in the work of His Holiness to serve the faithful of the Romanian Orthodox Church on behalf of President Mahmoud Abbas. Patriarch Daniel expresses conviction that the Palestinian authorities will continue to support Christian religious sentiments, with special reference to the Romanian Orthodox sentiments in the Holy Land, including the functioning of St. John Jacob Center for Studies and Pilgrimage at Jericho and the efforts of Romanian Patriarchate to restore the Romanian settlement in Jordan. The Patriarch stressed the role of pilgrimages in maintaining and promoting a climate of peace and good understanding between Christians and other religious communities at holy places. As his beatitude, Patriarch Daniel celebrates his 15th year of enthronement as the Patriarch of Romania. OCP Publication is proud to announce that we are able to publish a book regarding the Romanian Orthodox Church and Patriarch Daniel, named Patriarch Daniel and the Resurgence of the Romanian Orthodox Church, written by George Alexander, former Pan-Orthodox Christian activist. This book points out the history of the Romanian Church and its influences upon Romania in the post-communist era. It also talks about the reforms, charities, and the revitalization of both the church and the state that has occurred under the leadership of Patriarch Daniel. Patriarch Daniel is proven in his book to be a Christ-like model for all. You can get a copy of the book from Amazon, link available in description. Thank you for watching Orthodox World this week. See you soon with more updates.